Hi, I'm Justina Sanchez, and welcome to the Leader in You presentation. In this, I'm going to help you discover what traits and qualities make a great leader and show you how you can take the lead in your life, right where you are. Let's jump in. Before we get into the content, I would like to share a little bit about myself. My name is Justina Sanchez, and I'm a quality engineer at TÜV Südamerika. I have been with the company almost 17 years, and most of my experience lies in product safety. I am the global ambassador for our America's Women's Network, where myself and a leadership team lead about 100 ladies from 15 different offices throughout North America in this network. I am married, and I have a little girl who also wants to be an engineer when she grows up, but I support whatever it is she chooses to do as she gets older. Some things I enjoy doing are taking care of myself. I enjoy working out, eating healthy, sleeping, and I haven't met a dessert that I don't love. Myself and my best friend are also the co-founders of a media ministry called Radiant Pearls Ministries, where we lead a community of over 15,000 people. I love to travel, experience new things, new foods and cultures, and I am all about creating memories over giving gifts. That's just me and a little bit about me. So let's jump into the content of the Leader in You presentation. We're going to start with some quotes. These are some of the most famous quotes by different leaders in history. Mr. Henry Ford said, "Before anything else, getting ready is the secret of success." And C.S. Lewis, he says, "Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching." And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving forward." And this is so true. Oftentimes in life, we can get stuck when things happen to us or when we go through hard times, but it's important that we don't stay there and that we keep moving forward. So what is leadership? Well, I'll tell you, the dictionary defines leadership as the capacity to lead, whether it be yourself, your children, your family, a team, in your company. It's providing guidance or direction while working towards the same objective. When you think of a leader, who comes to mind? What are some of the qualities that you admire? I know I admire someone who's authentic, approachable, someone who's transparent and vulnerable, humble and honest. I want to be led by someone who equips me to do better at what I do. And I also want to be around a leader with a good attitude. So why are we so fascinated with leadership? Did you know that according to Forbes, we spend $166 billion on leadership development in the US alone? Globally, that number is $366 billion. That's right. $366 billion on leadership development. The truth is, leaders carry a great deal of influence, whether they know it or not. There's this big misconception out there that you have to be a manager to lead, but leadership isn't about a title. In fact, you don't even have to be in a position of leadership to lead. Personal leadership is what I'm talking about. Everyone is leading in one capacity or another, whether we know it or not. We lead our kids in our homes, ourselves, and the people that we do life with. So where do you start? You want to start with yourself. When I start with myself, this gives me experience. It gives me confidence, integrity, and influence. Do this so that you have something to give to others. You see, you can't give to others what you don't have yourself. So it's kind of like when you're on an airplane and the stewardess tells you to put the oxygen mask on yourself before helping someone else. You see, it's not selfish to start with yourself, because if you don't first learn it, you have nothing to pass on to them. So truly, you are thinking of others when you start with yourself. Leadership begins with the inner person of who you are. You are in charge of what you watch. You're in charge of what you listen to, what and who you allow to influence your life. Everything and everyone in your life influences you in one way or another, whether you know it or not. You are being influenced. So when I think about what key elements leadership is made up of, I break it down into these three main categories: building relationships, how we influence people, and bringing home the results. So let's touch on the first category, building relationships. Initially, we have to establish relationship with others, right? We have to network. We have to start connecting with people on a personal level. We need to spend time with them to get to know them. What are their likes? What are their interests? Start building relationship with people and let them get to know you and your character. According to Stephen Covey's book, The Speed of Trust, he talks about these certain behaviors that create high trust within relationships. They're talking straight, as in being honest, telling the truth, let people know where you stand. Oftentimes the message that's received may not be the message the other person intended. So clear communication is essential for understanding one another. The next one is to demonstrate respect by genuinely caring for others. Respect the dignity of every person in every role. You want to create transparency by telling the truth in a way that people can verify this for themselves. You want to right your wrongs, and you do this by owning your mistakes and apologizing quickly. You also want to show loyalty. You can do this by giving credit to others. And if you're talking about someone, always do it in a way as if they were standing right there in the room with you. Show results. Get the right things done, and at work, accomplish what you're hired to do. And next, you want to get better. Become a constant learner, continuously improving and increasing your capabilities. Number 6 in building high trust relationships is confronting reality. We do this by taking issues head on, address the tough stuff, have those open and honest dialogues. That's key to gaining acceptance, trust, and understanding. Also, you want to clarify your expectations. Ensure you understand what's being asked of you. And if you're on the giving instruction end, make sure that the expectations are clearly understood by those receiving it. Number 10, you want to practice accountability. Be accountable to yourself and others. I know if I want to be successful at anything, for me, accountability is key. You also want to listen before you speak. Hear with your ears, your eyes, your heart. Really understand what's being said before you respond. And you want to keep your commitments. Say what you're going to do, and then do what you said you're going to do. And finally, extend that trust unconditionally to those who are earning your trust. Now let's move on to the next element of leadership, and that is influence. We all have one. We influence our kids, our significant others, our friends, and our colleagues. Every day you influence someone. So what is it that you rely on to get people to follow you? Well, I'll tell you, people will follow your character, which is who you are. They'll follow your relationships, which is who you know, your knowledge, which is what you know, your experience, where have you been, your past successes, what have you done, and where do you have a history? They also follow your ability, what is within you to achieve greatness. All of these things are what make up your influence and ultimately will determine if other people will participate or follow you. And the last element of leadership that we're going to touch on today are results. It's nice to get a lot done, but it's important to get the right things done. That means understanding how to prioritize your time, your tasks, and your resources. Ideally, staying in the area of your strengths is where your efforts are going to yield the highest results. Ask what's required of you. Get a clear understanding of the objective that you're working towards. This way you avoid working hard on the wrong things and you never get to the important stuff. Then, when you know what's required, it's time to prioritize. We want to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. And in this, you'll set yourself up for successful results. And in turn, your manager or whoever you're producing these results for will know that they can depend on you. They'll know that you are reliable and that you have the ability to bring about the results that they are after. And oftentimes when we do achieve those results, it can be so rewarding. So as we come to a close in this session, I want to invite you to think of the great leaders in your life, someone who you look up to, someone who inspires you? What qualities do they possess? I have a few people in my own life, one being my former boss. There was a time when our company was going through a major reorganization, and I'm sure some of you can relate with that in one way or another. During this time, my boss was very transparent with us. He was very open, honest, and communicative with our team. Even though we were experiencing these transitions and a lot of uncertainty, by displaying these qualities, I noticed all of our team got on board and embraced the change. Things could have gone a very different way had we not been led by such a great leader. Another great leader in my life was one of my mentors, who's a CEO. He gave up his time regularly to meet with me and to pour into me. He shared his time, he shared his knowledge, he shared his experience with me. He never once made me feel inferior to him, and given our positions, he certainly could have. In our meetings, I always felt as an equal, and I took notice to how he led with humility. And to this day, he's still there and available for me. Well, that is going to do it for the Leadership in You presentation. Thank you so much for your time. I welcome you to connect with me via social media or my email at just111tina@yahoo.com, where I do welcome any questions or comments you have, and I hope you have gained some valuable insight to take with you for the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.